Safety in the classroom has long been a focus and a priority, whether it's protecting kids from an attacker or a predator. But what if an accusation is not the truth? Well, tonight, a rare chance to hear from a teacher who was accused and then exonerated. Tonight's cover story, Guilty by Accusation. A quick search on Google tells you a lot about Matthew Barron of Chicago. He has not one but two rock bands, one called Future Hits that features educational songs for students, another indie alternative group called Young Man in a Hurry. From a recording studio in Bucktown, he played a track from his newest record as it's being mixed. Barron's life has been bookended by those two creative passions, music and education. He's an ESL teacher and a social and emotional learning teacher for several years.
This is a job where I get to work with kids and adults and parents and families in the community and just be really engaged all the time.
That brings us back to the Google search. And another hit, this one connected to his teaching job at Skinner West Elementary School in the West Loop. And a dark and troubling headline in May of 2019.
Made an allegation that I'd put my hand down the bare back of this student in a classroom for about 9 minutes and gave this person a bareback massage.
The allegation came from a 6th grade boy who said it happened while Mr. Barron put on a film for students to watch in a darkened classroom. Barron learned about it while he was in New York on a music tour. The call came from his principal, who, while expressing doubt about the allegation, told him he was suspended during an investigation. Skinner families were notified.
It just was shocking, and also at the same time, I wasn't worried in a way because I was like, this is all just gonna shake out quickly. This never happened. Once whomever needs to look at it looks at it, it'll be obvious and we'll just all move on with our lives. And that did not happen.
What did happen was an arrest, fingerprinting, and a mugshot, and then the news reports.
Chicago police arrested him on misdemeanor charges of battery, making physical contact with a minor.
The student's mother posted about the allegation on Facebook, naming Barron before he was even charged with a crime. Some called him a pedophile who groomed children. The mother began asking for others to come forward. It was all coming at a time when CPS was being criticized in a Chicago Tribune series for failing kids when it came to keeping them safe from predators. And in a real way, Barron understood the optics.
I always believed accusers, always. Especially kids. Why would they say it if it didn't happen?
Didn't take long for Barron to understand how and where the story began. He believes it was retaliation for disciplining another unruly student who was disruptive in class. He noticed the two huddled together after school that day.
It was obvious to me from the start because I knew that they were very good friends, and I don't want to disparage anybody, but given my experience of the particular student who I got in the spat with, I wouldn't put it past this person to have tried to hatch some sort of retaliatory thing against me.
The allegation came out soon after. Even though he was building an understanding, it was still hard to grasp.
And I remember being on the phone with Whitney, my then fiance, now wife, who was in Norway, and just sobbing in a parking lot of Blick Art Supplies. I went to go get some notebooks and being like, how the heck did this happen?
The shame and embarrassment were mounting as he figured out how to fight the charge and the perception.
Well, it feels just guilt by accusation. I mean, just the accusation in and of itself. It's like a permanent stain, like a scarlet letter. I don't know if it will ever truly go away. It was on the news. It was being smeared on Facebook by the parent of the accusing child, and other people were jumping on that.
But there was support from the Skinner community. Many were having a hard time believing the story. Fellow teacher Jeffrey Merkins spoke to the sense of bewilderment and doubt.
I mean, originally there was, obviously people talking. I felt kind of bad that his name got out right away without, the facts and everything coming out. And so there was talking, but real quickly, the teachers all gathered together. Like we knew him well, that this was not true.
There were multiple investigations. DCFS, the Board of Education, CPS. The Cook County State's Attorney declined to file felony charges.
A couple other kids corroborated the story, but their stories were not anything what he was saying.
But a misdemeanor battery charge stood. At trial, the inconsistencies came to light. Testimony from the two students differed on the date. One said it was the student's back, the other his leg, and the duration of the exchange. One said it was 9 minutes, the other less than a minute. And then there was the matter of the lights, which, because of electrical work, couldn't be turned off. The lights were never out.
Correct. You could not turn them off. You could not dim them. So.
And there are 30 other children in this room.
Correct. I think just the truth came to light in a very obvious way. They came up to my attorneys and said, this is unbelievable. This testimony is obviously false, and we can't believe that we're all here today to do this. So,
who told you that?
The sheriffs in the courtroom, who hear cases all day, every day.
That day, Barron would be exonerated. He knew it when he faced the judge in his bench trial.
It was a climactic moment. And my legs were shaking, and the second the judge started to read his finding, about 5 or 10 seconds in, my whole body was loosening. He looked at me right in the eye and said, I find you not guilty. I just felt like I was floating.
That was 3 years ago. By then, DCFS had already dismissed the complaint, same from the State Board of Ed. And this past February, CPS allowed Matt Barron back into the classroom.
Just on my walk into work, I was like, this is surreal. I felt like I was watching a movie. And like, this doesn't happen. People who are falsely accused and having trials and in the news, they don't return to where they came from. So it felt really important for me to go back, even for one day. Even for one day, it was my goal.
And there were cheers and relief on that day.
You have to have your heart and everything into this. He loves what he does, and you can feel it as soon as he walks in.
One of the classrooms I walked into, they started chanting not guilty and like hugging each other like they just won the Super Bowl. I play music in all the classrooms, and so I was back into doing my thing and teaching my ESL and my social emotional learning with my original songs that I write and my slideshows, and it was amazing.
That one day turned into 6 weeks. Amid all the joy, Barron still felt a trepidation. It was crystallized by one student's voice hurling the phrase child molester in an auditorium.
I felt awful, especially because I remembered that kid as a first grader who would sing my songs, and now this child was in 8th grade, and just kind of
calling you names.
Yeah. Snapshotting that of like, wow, like what a path that I've been on.
Where does that path go? Matt stepped away for the time being. He and his wife had a young son, and he's been on extended paternity leave as he considers the next step.
Being falsely accused by a student as an adult is inherently shameful. It's guilt by accusation. And for me to release that shame of even the accusation, not even of having done anything, but just being accused, for me to stuff it and keep it behind me and sweep it under the rug and pretend it never happened, I believe that would eat away at me. And telling it is very scary.
Matt's other creative outlet, his music, will continue to tell his story, which serves him better with the light now shining on it.
I was on the phone with someone, and he told me, he said, Matt, he said, if you put this story behind you, it'll become a shadow. But if you put it in front of you, it could be the light that shapes your life moving forward.
Barron sued CPD and the city of Chicago, which ultimately settled. And while it's not clear what bearing it had on the case, Barron discovered the investigating detective and the boy's mother had started a romantic relationship, which the detective admitted to in a court filing. I did speak with her by phone, but she declined to be interviewed, she said, out of concern for her son. So we'll see when, if, how he decides to get back into the classroom. For now, he focuses on his musicianship and being a dad.